If I say, correct me if I'm wrong, that if I have to talk about somebody personifying the concept of women empowerment in Bengal in modern times, I think your name would emerge as in the top of that list.
Well, perhaps, but I actually tended to shock people a bit. When I was very young, I must have been 24 or 25, pretty young. I remember Shoshti Bruto, this journalist, famous journalist at the time, he came and interviewed me, and I said at that time, which must have been in the 60s, no? Late 60s or something. I said that I think, you know, it's better for people to live together before marriage. And I said that when, if I have children, I had a daughter already, when she grows up, I'm not going to tell her not to go to bed with boys or men because she's not going to listen to me. I'm going to teach her about contraception. Everybody was thoroughly shocked. I mean, everyone, what are you saying? What have you been saying? You're publicly talking about contraception, publicly talking about living together. And I thought, oh my God, what have I done? You know, but that's who I am.
So that is exactly my point, that what you exhibited in many ways than one, the example that you just cited, that you stood your ground as a woman. And that is the epitome of women empowerment. That's what you displayed. But in the marriage thing, and I'm fascinated to hear for the first time, I'm sure, I'm not sure you've shared that with anyone in public or not, that was your concept of marriage, that was your concept of relationships way back in the 60s.
Wait. Way back in, in the early 60s.
I wasn't born then.
You weren't born, of course you weren't born. In the early 60s, my mother told us, my sister, my second sister and me, we were just very close together in age. She said, you know, because you are basically very good, decent girls, so I think I should tell you something. Please don't feel that the first man you kiss you have to marry, or even if you happen to sleep with a man, please don't feel that you're obligated to marry him.
Your mother said that?
My mother said that in the early 60s. This is how we were brought up.
Hi. So now it makes sense to me that it runs in the family, that the sense of women empowerment. And a similar example I can give you, that how we have been brought up in our, so how the upbringing actually build the foundation, the mere foundation at a very young age, which is not true anymore in modern times, because the foundation is being built on internet in an international arena for the kid. So it was very clear that, well, there are three things which were ingrained in us. A, be respectful to elders. Be respectful to women, starting with your sisters to the rest of the world. And don't lie and take things which are not yours. The fundamental lessons.
Basic values. Basic values.
And jokingly, I used to say that when I went outside Bengal, I was trying to be an entrepreneur. Then I figured out that I'm not that good to be an entrepreneur. And I used to tell people that two of the handicaps that my parents had imparted in me is that integrity and education. So, you know, I struggle with them. So that is now on that you were saying that was what your mom said.
No, just a minute. My mother said that. But my paternal grandmother, she was, I have this private little family joke that we are a family of bastards and Shudras. Why? Because my maternal grandmother, who was a Brahmin, a Chatterjee, eloped with my paternal grandmother, who was a Brahmo missionary. And they did not have a marriage that was sort of certified because they were from different castes, right? He was a Vaidya and she was a Brahmin. So according to the Shastras, marriage between Vaidya and Brahmin creates Shudras. Okay, So I'm a Shudra and very proud to be one. And also that when they married, I mean, they just exchanged garlands, which is the Gandharva Vivaha in the Shastras. And my grandfather said, because they're great believers in God, so he said that God is our witness, so why do we need any other witnesses? So we are a family of illegitimate people.
Watch Radico presents Duologue with Barun Season 3, streaming on News 9 Plus. Download the app now.